In my opinion, eating healthy means giving my body the correct mixture of nutrients and foods to help it function correctly. My biggest challenges to eating healthy are time and convenience. As a father of three and a busy executive, oftentimes my days go so quickly that I often find myself skipping meals and forcing food in my meals to late into the evening, which obviously causes the opportunity for a lot of bad choices. My top tips for eating healthier are to join the Reboot. The Reboot has so many different alternatives, programs that can fit just about anybody's lifestyle. And the key is to get started and to get started now. My top tips for feeding my family healthy foods are to get them involved in the Reboot as well. You would think, based on the fact that we're facing the challenges we are, and we're now teaching our children the same things we learned when we were growing up, the most common and obvious thing to do would be to get your kids involved in a Reboot so that they develop with the right choices and the right types of foods on their plate. In a day, today I typically start my day with a juice. It's very convenient for me first thing in the morning, and I just love the burst of the fresh juices that I start my day with, usually a fruit juice of some sort. At lunchtime, I tend to make that my primary meal, and I really enjoy it, like very large leafy green salads and very lean meats when I do have a meat involved, typically a fish or a chicken. And then in the evening, again, I kind of wind my day down with another juice. Again, it's very convenient for me at that time, or a very small soup or a salad in the evening. Throughout the day, I snack a lot, and I snack a lot on fruits and fresh vegetables. It's just as satisfying as the poor choices I used to make, and quite frankly, today I find it to be even more satisfying because I can pretty much enjoy as much as I want throughout the day without any negative effects. Now, when I was growing up, in a day I typically ate a lot of junk foods. I would typically skip my breakfast and then go from there into a fast food lunch and work very hard throughout the day, again winding up late in the evening, usually capping my day off with another fast food lunch, or dinner rather, and then throughout the day snacking on candy bars and chips and all kinds of processed foods, and again very convenient, low cost, but very poor choices. When I was in my poorest health in a day, again, I typically skipped a lot of meals, but when I did eat, it was usually late in the evening, and it was very poor choices. Or it was in the buffets. I'm a big fan of the buffets. I like the selection, but the problem is I always viewed it almost as a contest to see how much I could possibly eat to get the best value for my money. And in the process, step by step, was systematically killing myself. My top 3 reasons for eating packaged processed foods are convenience, cost, and really certainly not taste, but a taste that I developed over time. And so those are my top 3 reasons for that. I decided I need to improve my diet because I had a lot of bad symptoms. I have high blood pressure, which is reducing very quickly, but I was aching all over. I was frequently depressed, and the more I ate, the more depressed I became. I was moody. There was all kinds of different issues. I snored extremely loud at night to the extent that often my wife and I were driven to separate bedrooms. And that's just not the way that I saw myself at 40, 41, 42 years old that I would anticipate being. Healthy food is approximately now about 60 to 70% of my diet, and I would say on some days a lot more, on certain days a little bit less, but I would say 60 to 70% is now the makeup of my diet are healthy foods. The person responsible for purchasing and preparing food in my household is myself. I like to keep an eye on the budget, but I also am the person who does most of the food preparation, and so I am the person who makes most of those choices for my family. The best result I've gotten from eating healthier is energy. Energy, energy. I've stopped snoring. I have a lot more energy. When I wake up and roll out of bed in the morning, I don't feel any aches anymore. There's no soreness. There's no aching. I still have a long way to go in my reboot, but just in a matter of a few days, I started to notice an immediate burst of energy and the lack of pain that I used to experience on a daily basis when I would get out of bed in the morning. When I eat more healthy foods, I feel a lot more energetic. I feel a lot more empowered, a lot more confident, and just a lot more excited to take on my day. I also know that my wife and my children and everybody have noticed a calmness about me as well. That one I can't quite explain, but it makes me just a lot more calm throughout the day. And again, gives me a lot more confidence that I have a better chance of completing the task or the assignment that I need to each and every day. My favorite food indulgence is sushi. Sushi and sashimi. I know a lot of folks wouldn't think that that's a bad choice necessarily, but I really, really enjoy that. And while I'm eating in extreme moderation at the moment, I look forward to be able to incorporate that back into my weekly eating plan. Again, though, the awareness that the reboot has created in my life has simply made me feel confident that as the reboot's completed, I'll be able to step back out into life and make better choices. And at any time, if I feel like I'm getting a little bit off course, I know that I can always run back and do another reboot to help refocus my desire and my energy to be able to eat correctly and accomplish the long-term results, that the simple awareness that I now have thanks to the reboot program and the videos and everything else has brought to my life and the life of my entire family.